What's going on, good people? How you doing, somebody? What up, though, somebody?
Happy day.
Happy day, blessed day. Welcome back, welcome back.
Hey, somebody.
What up, though, somebody?
Welcome to Build for This Kingdom Marriage. I'm Jazz.
And I'm RJ. Here we discuss kingdom marriage, dating to marry, also growth and healing.
Our hope is that we all come to a clear understanding of God's will regarding love and relationship, aka marriage. Thanks for watching.
This is part 2 to communication.
An underrated part of relationships.
Yeah, underrated part of relationship.
I know we said it a little different in the other video.
Yeah.
But we're back on communication because communication is important.
Right. It's very important. It's the flow of marriage. It's the flow of how you understand each other. And and also too, it's some of our signs of love language. We love communication. I know that's one of my signs. I love communication. I love it, regardless of the fact if it's friction or whatever. Hey, we need that communication, and communication is just so broad. It's just wide open, like to where you have different types of communication, like I had mentioned in the other video. This one we're just going to go and just dig deeper into that, just dive into it. Communication is not just how effective it is, but it's just understanding like the flow of it. Like if it's something that I'm not sure about, and this is how come my wife, she always she get on my head so much about, hey babe, you got to start taking notes and things like that. And I'm still, in my mind, I'm still thinking like, well, I still have that good memory of remembering things because a long years ago, she was always say, babe, remind me of this, remind me of that, remind me of this. Because I had a good memory. Hey, babe, don't forget about this. Hey, babe, don't forget while we in Walmart, we need to get this. Babe, don't forget. But now it's like my hand is just doing a lot of things. As you can see, my hands just going in circles, whatever. It's like, okay, I can't remember. I need to go ahead, pull out my phone, type it in my notes, remember this on this day at this time, or whatever the case may be. But I digress on that. Communication is key because it's definitely going to help, like I said, the flow of your relationship, the flow of your marriage. You said what?
The healthiness of it, or the toxicity.
Yeah, the the healthiness of it, the toxicity, and then also too.
Toxicity.
Okay, what toxicity, ticity, complicity.
Let's say it.
Complicity.
Wait. Toxicity.
Toxicity. Is that right? It's toxic. Let's put it like that. We want to go ahead and just keep it like that. Simple. So, like as I was saying, that we, as married couples, husband and wife, friends, family. But when I'm punching at is that, and I said punching, because I'm not knock this out the park. We are in a line of generational curse breakers. That's what, like the things that we saw or that we had went through when we were kids. We have to break that.
God is calling us to be the repairers of the breach.
Right.
The generational curse breakers.
So pretty much when we have adults as a kid, they say, I'm the adult, you are the child, you listen to what I say and you don't say nothing. Like a kid don't have ideas or a point of view or
a
voice. And when you get told that so much, you hold on to that. Then when you reach of age, teenage, that's when you like, oh, okay, you about to get these words. And that's where like that rebellious part come in at, but that's a deeper story. We can probably talk about that some other time. But we are generational curse breakers. That's what we're supposed to do. So the things that we saw as a kid that we didn't like when it comes to communication, we have to implement that into our kids in a way of, hey, I want you to feel free to speak, what's on your mind respectfully, and let me know what's going on. Let me know why you feel like this. Even if it's at that second or that moment where something happened and the kid come out the room and they got their arms folded, lips poked out, and you like, hey, what's wrong? And they get that, like, use your words. I need for you, come have a sit. That moment versus, ain't nothing wrong with you. Go back up in your room. And no, that's not how that works.
I like how you said that, because that's true. God is calling us to change the cycles, pull those faulty foundations down, those toxic ways of thinking, being. And yeah, when we were younger, we didn't know no better, but we know better now. So that's why I'm able to say toxic. Those things are not like God. We knew we felt or had an issue with it when we were younger. And I know my husband say a lot, the things we didn't like, but the things that we saw that were not healthy, the things that we saw like, this don't even feel like this, how this should go, right? God is calling us to change that, to shift that. That's why I say to repair the breach, generational curse breaker, breaking those cycles, being transformed by the renewing of our mind. So yes, I was taught that, but I'm going to change that. I'm going to take the goodness or what I needed from that, but then we're going to do it in this way now, because God is calling me to not do it like that. He's calling us to not repeat those patterns, repeat those cycles, but to do it the way that his word says, to see it from his perspective and what he says. So that's what he's calling us to do. So I like how you said that. But I want to, can I do a definition of communication real quick?
Go ahead.
So now this is just Google, okay? Because when I was looking in scripture, like, well, let me find the scripture. Let me look. The thing is that communication is, the Bible is communication. It's us hearing God by his written word, right? That's communication. He's communicating to us. He said, I'm going to have a written book of how you should live, how it should be, because I know one day RJ is coming, or I'm going to plant RJ in the earth at some point. So I'm going to have this written word. So like it says that your truth endures from generation to generation, that he'll be able to read this regardless if he came up reading it, if he went and did or was. My word is going to continue to go forth regardless. And that's what we see with the Holy Bible. That's how we know it's truth. Okay, right? But so God already knew it. So I'm going to communicate my word like this. Even when we have different translations, that's still him communicating. But I digress. What I'm saying is, when I was looking for communication, this is what I thought about. Like, well, that's the Bible. It is communication. Everything in it is about communication. This is also why I said it's underrated, meaning we say it. But are we doing it effectively? Are we doing this where it's healthy? Are we changing the patterns and cycles that God is calling us to? So communication means the process of conveying information, ideas, and feelings between two or more people through, like you said in the other video, through verbal, or you said various ways, through verbal, written, or nonverbal means. And then it breaks down verbal communication, written, and nonverbal. And then there's other ones, electronic, it's all kind of stuff. Yeah. But I like the part where it's saying the process of, right? The process of conveying information. So that means, for example, when I hear people say, I don't like confrontation, it's a process of conveying how you feel or what you're thinking. So you have to confront it. Whatever the issue is, you have to speak on it. It's a process of doing. You can't just, you can, because people do it. But what I'm saying is, when you're communicating or trying to get the message across or how you're feeling, you're going to get people that say something back. It's not a one-sided thing. So we can't be afraid to say, I don't want confrontation. I don't want the back and forth. That's what communication is, the back and forth. Yeah. Because it's, I'm hearing you, but now I need to tell you what I'm understanding from what you're saying, and vice versa. So you gotta meet it head on, because how else are you going to go through the process of understanding or communicating those feelings, those things, if you don't do
Yeah.
it. You
Yeah.
got to do it, right? So that's why what I liked about the definition, because we're not mind readers. I can say, like we said before, I don't like when you do that. And it's like, okay, you don't like when I do what? You have to explain. I don't like when I'm speaking and you interrupt me. Okay, that's clearer. That's me understanding more because you say I like when you do that. And if I'm upset and in offense, I think you should know what I'm saying. And it's like, oh, you don't like when I do what? So even in conversations, I'm thinking about that too. When we are confronting what's happening or what's going on, and how the offense can come in is what I'm thinking about. Because you're like, I don't like when you do that. I'm thinking that you automatically know what I'm talking about, or assume that you know what I'm talking about. And then the person on the other end is like, you don't like when I do what? So now you think that they're being funny about them asking you do what.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just thinking about conversation. Oh, you know what I'm talking about. Those things. I just love that it says the process of conveying, getting across, whether it needs to be, whether I need to, if I'm saying to you and you're not understanding, let me draw a picture. And I'm not being funny. This is for real. Let me draw a picture. Let me give an example. And draw a picture can literally mean me giving you a scenario so you can visualize it in your mind. It could be a literal picture. I'm over here on the carpet and you right here. I'm trying to get you over here on the carpet. Whatever. That's funny to me. My uncle used to use that example, and you literally would visualize it. It's the process of, so if you never start to do it, this is why it's unhealthy, or it'll never become healthy. Let's say that. You have to get to that point. So however it may be, whether when you said before, text message, however you got to start, but make it to where we're constantly speaking out of our mouth to each other and it can explain and understand.
Yeah. So with that being like, and I'm gonna piggyback off a process. Like my wife said, process is a start.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's a start. You got to start somewhere. Like I said in the last video, you got to start somewhere. And over time, it's go gradually go into where you sitting next to each other, and then both of you guys, or all you guys, y'all coming to the table of understanding, like I always say, and you hearing each other, and you understanding each other, and you feeling each other passion and concern when it comes to a certain topic. And little than you know, when y'all get to an understanding, one of y'all or maybe both of y'all might sit there and be like, why we couldn't do this in the beginning?
That's always what I find
and
to be.
and yeah, and it always end up like that. Yeah. Or it's like that was it.
Easy. That was
like that was it.
Yes.
Like that was it. Like wow, like that was easy. So I get it. I understand. Like it's a process. I understand. That it's going to take two, not one. It's going to take two. Yet it's going to be up to you, that person, that individual. Like we can't be pulling back, because I guarantee you, the good Lord, He's going to be like, nope, nope. Oh, okay, so you want to pull back? All right, I'm gonna throw this at you. Now what?
Because He's trying to help you or make you do it.
Right.
Through. So even with the going back to the past, like if you feel like you can't communicate or you don't like confrontation, whatever it is, whatever is holding you back from expressing why and how you feel, I do believe it's important that you do think back to where this came from. You do go back to understand, where did this first come from? Where did this start from? Where does this stem from?
Mm-hmm.
Because that will allow you to understand that God is revealing this so you can heal or be delivered, or both, and so that you can move forward and change the pattern. We can say, okay, I'm an adult now, so I'm gonna just start changing and doing stuff. But if it's outer and not inner work first, you're just doing an action, and eventually you're still gonna go. It's still gonna be where you still got to work on that inner. Right. So you want to say, and I'm mentioning this because this is how the Lord has dealt with me with healing. He will take me back, and something just so recent, I was talking about this. He will take me back or the thought even come to my mind, why do you feel like that? You're saying, or I would spew out my mouth something and then I would hear, but why do you feel like that? So then it started taking me back. Okay, and when's the last time you felt like that? I can pinpoint that. Okay. And when was the first time you felt like that? And the Lord will allow me to go all the way back to a child. It's always stemming from childhood, or it happened first there. Just like the Bible, the first mentions is going to be Genesis, right? When we think about scripture. So he'll take me back there. So what I'm saying is allow the Lord to heal you. That's why he's going to keep bringing it up. If he keep getting thrown at you where it's making it like, why do I got to keep, okay, here we go again with this communication. Okay, I got to communicate again. That's why, because he's trying to break that cycle, those patterns, and to bring you into the renewed mind, the transforming of your mind, so that you can now walk it out. And you are healthy. You are healed now. You are whole now. And now we could teach these things to our children.
So now I want to tap into talking about communication in marriage. And just like what she said, I'm going to segue into it, the roles. Understanding each other roles. One of the things that I notice about me and my wife is that we are both leaders.
Yeah.
We are both leaders. Because I'm the head priest of the household. That's how it should go biblically. Yet we are both leaders. So is a lot of things that she is very strong at, to where I'm okay at it. Yet I know that if my wife had control over this, okay, she would get it done. So the communication come in as an understanding when my wife speak on certain things when it comes to business. I'm gonna say business, very strong at that. When she speak, I'm not going to walk away and just be like, oh no, you got it. No, when she speak, I'm going to listen. That's communicating. I'm okay. All right, break out my phone. As soon as I break up babe, why you got your phone? Because you told me I need to keep notes, and you already know I'm trying to struggle with my memory. So, like, I'm typing in. What'd you say again? Would you go back? Okay, all right. That's what I mean by communication, is understanding each other's roles and where we're strong at and where the other person lacks, so they can either gain to or they can learn from. But it's the same thing.
Yes.
So that's very important too. So. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I like how you said that, but the gain, I'm not saying but, like, disregarding the gain, learning or understanding, learn to gain it or do too. I like how you said that, because then that's when we go back to biblically what God said the woman is supposed to be doing, or what the woman's role is, the husband, the wife, the man. Did I say it right? The woman, the man, the husband, the wife. Because now that you see, or that you, instead of saying, oh, my wife, oh, she act like she wear the pants, and where we can see that a lot, where the woman is dominated, right? So now if you learn that, not dominating, because that's not what we're supposed to be doing, but the woman is leading more like how it looked like a male should, right? If you learn that from me, now I can move out the way so that you can get to where you're supposed to be. And that's how the Lord showed me. Yes, you may be stronger in this. For instance, say, for example, finances. Yes, you may be stronger in this, but you're going to show him, so then now you can move and he can lead in that way. It's not oh, you got this, and I'm not going back off what you said.
Right.
Or like, it's not like she got this, so that's just what you do. No, it's a learning, because those specific things that God said a husband should be doing and a wife should be doing, we're going to learn from each other, so now we can move out of each other's way, and that order is how it needs to be.
Right. Another thing I want to point out too in communication in a marriage is that, okay, both of each other's strengths. We're both organized. We're organized. Like, and correct me if I'm wrong. No, scratch that. We're both organized. Yet, when it comes to me, I'm okay, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. And then if this don't work, because I know plan A and B, it's going to work. Like that's how I am. So we go to C, we gonna go there. But if C don't work, we just gonna go ahead and go back to B and then go stick to B. My wife, she's like plan A, detail with it. This. Plan B.
And let's see it all the way through first.
This with it. And then she gonna be like, go to C, and then she gonna be like, but you know what? It wouldn't be no C. We just gonna add this detail into B. And we just gonna go to A to B, and that's how it's gonna be. But if, Lord forbids, if A don't go right, we go to B. And if this part of B is not working, we just gonna go to part A. And this, like, that's how she is. And I'm sitting here like,
but I'm always saying like, and we're gonna see it all the way through.
Yeah,
we're not gonna be like, oh, it's just not working. Yeah, but why is it not working?
Right.
And then let's fix whatever. And then now we still going through with the plan instead of saying this ain't working. Let's go to B.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah, because with me, I'm more like simple with it. Just say that much, simple with it, because I know deep down in my heart, oh yeah, it's gonna work. Yet she's strategic with it. She's detailed with it, and she's like, A, branching off 3 things. B, branching off 4 things. C, branching off. And it's like, oh, okay. And then, yeah, on mine, we're going to see it all the way through. Yet, if something stopped, I'm like, all right, look, we're going to go back to B. But she's like, no, we're going to see it all the way through. And then, as soon as you about to get ready and get to C, you like, no, we're going to stay right here because it's working. Everything's working, you know, if that makes sense. So together, what we do is, and that part is like, when it comes to structure, we both like feed off of each other ideas and what could work. I might say tomato, she might say tomato, but when we explain it, we like, oh, well, that's like, we're talking the same language, it's just different. So this is how we break it down. So now it's not separate plan A or B. It's like plan A and that's it. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, it's just plan A, because we came together with a format. We came together as an understanding when it comes to the structure of the household, how everything should flow, or when it comes to meetings, setting up family meetings, or when it comes to disciplining the kids, or when it comes to educating the kids, or when it comes to, oh, who's going to, you know, do the groceries, or who, whatever it is, who's going to take out the trash, whatever it is. You know, that's the great part about it. Like communication is so great. Like my wife said, it's a process. It's going to take time. So also, speaking about time, is building up patience, not just for that person that struggled with that, but it also builds up patience for the other person, and both of you guys to is the building of, you know, of opening up your heart, or it's the building of like strengthening you at something where you feel like you're not strong at, but it's strengthening you up in another characteristic of your life. And what I'm saying is like patience. So also too, when it comes to communication in a marriage, like the kids, and if you guys in business together, or if you guys work for another company separately, or whatever the case may be, we're going to say business and kids. So now the scenario, we're going to say like, okay, where both of you guys, y'all go to work at the same time. One dropped the kids off at school, and the other one agreed to pick the kids up. Now the communication come in where one of you guys might be at the office late, right? So it's like, hey, hon, I'm not going to be able to pick the kids up. I know today is my day, but we are running late. My apologies. I'm sorry. Now, how do you get that text? How do you get that message through? Do you call or do you send a text? So I know this may seem like real cheesy, whatever, but you do both.
Yeah, I would say do one or the other.
You text. I don't care if you send a letter and a text. Boom. And then that person might be like, well, you could have just called. But in their mind, the person like, well, you know, I would have called, but I know that you answer text or emails better. No, you do both, or you do all 3, or just do both. So you could pretty much have a paper trail for yourself. Okay, boom, send a text first. Okay. If they didn't, respond or whatever back within like 10, 15 minutes, okay, you call. Hey, babe, how you doing? Oh, I'm all right. I'm just here. Just working up on some, last minute invoices, stuff like that. Oh, okay. Well, babe, listen, I left you a text on, what's going on. Like that. You ain't got to get all detailed with it. Just boom, just like that. So communication is very, very, very important. It just can't be, oh, I'm the man. This is what I do. Rah, rah, rah. And it's like, oh, I'm the woman. This is how I do. Blah, blah, blah. Nah, that's not how it works, because that's not creating a healthy environment in the household, outside the household, and also for your kids. Teaching them and showing them how to communicate, either which way it is. Like again, communication is a process. It's a process.
Yeah.
So we have to break those generational curses. That's one of them, because the one thing I noticed that when I was staying in Arizona, when it comes to dealing with teenage kids, I'm gonna say that they was having trouble just talking, saying how they expressing. Like when I approached this one kid, I said, "Hey man, what's going on? How you doing? I see you real good. You know what I'm saying, with the ball, man. What you know about that sport there?" I just like to play it. And I'm like, and I'm not sitting there like, what's wrong with you? No, I'm like, oh, you just like to play it? Yeah. I'm like, hey, you mind if we throw a little bit? And then one thing that I noticed now, once I started, I kept talking to him, and then a couple of days passed, I came back again. He was opening up more. And the reason why he's opening up more, because I took interest in what he was doing. Yes, I played the sport, but still, I took interest in what he was doing. So they gave him that it softened his heart to be like, oh, okay, it's good to talk to people. It's good to talk. Now he's talking to like some of everybody. I think he got to the point where the boy wouldn't stop talking, and everybody was just like, all right, such. All right, man, I gotta go. But that's a great thing. The approach to communication is needed.
Just do it.
Just do it. Like my wife said, some people jump into it. Yet you got to be careful when you jump into it, especially if you're a person that that say you don't like conflict, and you like, what, I'm just about to jump into it, and you got that little rope going like this, and you just like, ugh. Now, if you just think about it, when they doing a little double dutch and you jump into it, and then as soon as you jump in the wrong spot, now you getting all tangled up. Take time. Again, process. Get your thoughts clear. Get your thoughts clear on how you want to say it and how you would like for someone to say it to you. And you got to be ready for the feedback. You got to be ready for that.
And I would say too, a person that maybe they say, I don't have an issue with communicating. Okay, but look at it on the flip side. If you feel like you're a well communicator, or I say what's on my mind, I say what I feel, think about your heart posture when you're saying that, because you don't want to be a person that's unapproachable, because you like, oh, I say what I feel, I say what I like, pretty much like they gonna have it, like they gonna know what I feel and what we gotta be careful with that too, because the person on the other end, this is why they're probably saying they don't like confrontation, because they can't come to you, feel like they can come to you, you're not approachable. That's not so healthy.
No.
Either. So if you're a person that say, oh, I don't have problems with communicating, it's them, they don't want to talk. Or like when you're trying to make them talk, it's aggressive. Like you're trying to make them or pull it out of them. Like you need to just talk. You need to just say it. That's not good, because then it'll make them, like you said, it'll make them just not do nothing. And it's gonna make them like
just pull back.
Feel intimidated still. Like I'm really not gonna talk now, because
it's really gonna make them pull back on their feelings. And sorry for interrupting you, love. They just gonna be like, you know what, forget it.
So being a healthy communicator, if you feel like you are a good communicator or a healthy communicator, help your spouse, help your partner do that. help them in that, strengthen them in that.
Mm.
Even if, like we said before, you start off with text messages. Okay, just tell me how you feel. I could take that. At least I can have that, and I could do something with that. And then now I can see how we can work on this, how we gonna build, because you're going to communicate.
Yeah.
I.e., my husband with me.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to communicate. But it was good because we're good now, or not good now, but I don't have an issue with putting the words together on how I feel or how I'm gonna say it, because a lot of times it didn't come out like how I was meaning it.
Mm-hmm.
So just that process of learning how to effectively communicate and communicate what I feel well.
Yeah.
Like that was
Yeah.
it's a good turnout. So just help your spouse, help the person, your wife, your husband, if they're having those issues. But have extend grace, have patience, right?
Mm-hmm.
But on both ends, because patience on my end looks like, or grace on my end too, if I'm not the one that don't communicate, looks like I can't just keep letting him ask me, or we keep going through the same thing over and over.
Right.
I got to do something. Like I got to move. Something got to give.
Yeah.
It's not okay.
And I want to say this, and I'm hoping that we get just end it, because we touched on a lot of things when coming to this. But one big thing in communication when it comes to marriage and also the family is having family meetings.
Mm-hmm.
Having family meetings. It been times when my wife, she'd just come to me and she just say, "Hey babe, we need to have a family meeting." I was like, okay, what is it about? A family meeting about what we're gonna do next year, what are the plans and the goal for the children, and also what do we need to do to get started. And I'm like, okay, I agree. So yeah, it's gonna be a sit down. When I speak, as you can see how I like to use my hands. I use my hands to communicate a lot. Reason why I use my hands or whatever, is to express myself, but I know I have little boys. So I do things to try to grasp their attention. So when I do that, they they tapped in, they focus. I may go like this or whatever as I'm speaking, They like following my hand, but at the same time, they following my hand, but they hearing me. Also, too, to make sure that the household is going the way that both husband and wife need it to be. Yes, I'm head priest in my household. So when we're having family meetings, I'm going to sit here and open up, and I'm going to start off with prayer. And when I start off with prayer, boom, I'm going to go into the things that we need to talk about. Then once I go into the things that we need to talk about, all right, love, I digress. You have something? Yes. Boom. We're going to go in there like that. Then we're going to let our kids express how they feel, how they talk. And as we're doing this, we are taking notes. We are taking notes on how this son feel about this, how this son feel about this, how this son feel about this. We are taking notes. Then at the end of the meeting, we're coming to a conclusion, an understanding on why, when, what, and how, and what a starting point at. What a starting is going to be in the beginning. But you get what I'm saying. And once we do that, we close it out with prayer. And then boom, we go through with what we say we was going to do. Even at times, and this is me, I speak for myself, I come back and I say, babe, you did say, yeah, I said that, babe. And I'm like, okay, all right, I just want to make sure. All right, I just want to make sure. And during that whole communication process, oh man, this is so good. Now we hold each other accountable. Because as we going through that process of what we say we was going to do, we like, hey, son, remember you said you was going, oh yeah. Now I got it written down. It's right here. I got it written down like it's right here. This is what you said. Or it's like, hey, babe, you said you wasn't going to work overtime. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, babe. All right, I'm going to call him and let him know, nope, I can't do it. No, I'm done. All right, I'm just making sure I don't. No. I appreciate you for that. This is what it means to be on one accord. Communication is key. Like my wife said, she shared her story so good, how how she used to just, be quiet and don't say nothing, and she think like, oh, everybody should know how she feel. Like like she said that her uncle had told her like, Jazz, nobody's a mind reader. We can't understand what, like, we don't know what's on your
No,
mind.
God revealed that to me.
But
we got to be mindful when we're raising children and you're telling them things like that. You don't know how they're going to take it.
right.
And if that's like implanted in their heart or their mind, this is why they don't know how to communicate, because they were always told to be quiet and just listen. The kid, you shouldn't, what is it? They be saying, don't be seen and not heard. So that's in them. So now they can't verbalize how they feel. They never was able to tell their parents how they really felt. I can't share my ideas because of whatever the reasons that we're saying all those things. And this is why they don't communicate. They're going to grow up to be adults that don't know how to communicate.
I remember my granny, she told me that. She said, baby, it's good to be seen, but it's better to be known. And my reply was, how can I be known when I can't speak?
That's good.
You gotta think about that. But with that being said, I know we said a lot. We thank you guys for tuning into this video. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. Chime in, comment, say, whatever, how you feel about this topic. Of course, share it, subscribe. And until then, we see you guys in the next video. We pray that you guys have a blessed week. Love you guys, and God bless.
God bless you. Bye.